The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Trader's Edge with Steve Rhodes. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-445-1044. The Trader's Edge. Now, Steve Rhodes.
Good afternoon from TFNN. Welcome to the November 28th. Wonderful Wednesday edition of today's Trader's Edge Show. I'm your host, Stevie Perseverance Rhodes, who absolutely knows that each of us should always be pioneers of our future versus prisoners of our past. Hope everyone out there is having a great day. Let's make sure we have an extraordinary one. And, of course, the easiest way to do that is to always remember that life is happening for us, not to us. That's right. When you and I make that one little 2x4 shift, it means we can find the gift in every set of circumstance that life is going to toss at us. Today, you and I, we get to go check out the circumstance of these markets. We get to go figure out what the bulls and the bears, what the buyers and the sellers are communicating to you and I just past 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I want you to know that I'm absolutely grateful for your presence here, and more importantly, I'm here to serve you. So feel free to pick up that phone. Dial on in, 877-927-6648. If you can't dial in, we've got you covered. Let those fingers do the walking. You can always send me an email, steve@tfnn.com. Inside the subject heading, please put radio show question, and in the Tiger's Den, well, any ping will do. So let's go ahead and get things started on wonderful Wednesday. Of course, this is Tiger Financial News Network. I'm Steve Rhodes. Welcome to the show. Right now, the Dow 424 points, 1 7/10% to the upside. S&P's up 36. NASDAQ 100 up 1 7/10% as well. That's 115 points. Russell 2000's had a nice move today. It's up 25 right now. It was down earlier. Semis are up nearly 1% or 11 points. So everything is, it looks rosy, sort of. The only thing that does not look rosy just yet, not as 108, is that spot volatility index. It's traded at 1888. It is still, well, I'd have to say well above its 50-day exponential moving average out there. Now, if that thing can ever get down and stay down below that level, that is when you will start to see a short covering rally. But at this stage right now, even with the markets being up, there is a tug of war between the bulls and the bears. At least that's what Stevie believes. If we take a look at gold, she's up 9.90, and Stevie likes the number 9. That's trading out at 12.23. Silver's up 23 cents. Gold, light sweet crude, I take that back, is trading down about 15 cents. No big deal. Natural gas up 19 cents, 4%. That's where we're going to start for our first request. This is from Bob Y. And Bob says, "Hi, Steve. I enjoy your show. I'm glad you enjoy the show. Thanks for listening in. Your take on natural gas, please." So if we go take a look at the natural gas contract, we are looking at January. What we're going to notice when we take a look at profiles, and we're looking at a 60-minute, a 240-minute, we're looking at a daily time frame and the weekly. I think yesterday, let me see, was this yesterday? No, this is just today. So it's up above resistance on the 60-minute, the hourly chart. By the way, that's a price point of 447. Bob, if you're long, what you're looking for is you're looking for price to close above 452. Did I say 454? Let me get it right out there. Now, the reason I say that, if we take a look at the light sweet crude contract out here, you know, what I don't know is your time frame. But if we just draw a trend line, a simple trend line, let's just use a red arrow. What we're going to see here on the 4-hour time frames, we're going to see, in essence, a trend line, certainly, but we're going to see right now a series of lower highs out here. Now we have higher highs, we've got lower highs, so it's trading inside that cone of silence, so to speak, out here. The reason that we use the level, or I use the level of 4.542 is just simply because that's the top of its box. If it can get above that, then what you're looking for is a price move into about 479, give or take. That's that upper trend line out there. And that's all that I can really share. So that's what's going on an day basis out here. If we take a look at the daily and the weekly, there's no profile information for you and I to be able to gravitate to. We can see we've got, again, a series of 3 lower highs out here, and we've got plenty of higher lows. So trading with inside the cone of silence is about the best information that I can provide to you. I hope that helps you out with your trade there. Ruby wants to take a look at platinum. So if we take a look at the January contract for platinum out here, we can see that this is off of its low of the day. The low of the day out here was at about 816. You're trading up at 828 right now. Again, let's just use the same time frame, 6240 daily and weekly out here. And what this is doing, what platinum is doing, I should say, Ruby, is this week, the low that it made, looks like it probably was today, was a test of the bottom of its weekly profile. That's at 816.40. So far, that is held. With price just trading above the hourly time frame at 827.90. Of course, the hourly bar is not over, will not be over until 2 p.m. out here. But if price can close above that, that would suggest to me a move to the 838 level. And above that, and the 838 happens to be the center of the weekly profile. And then above that, you'd be looking for a move to about 859. So it's explored the bottom of the box. The box itself, that's the very right-hand panel, happens to be neutral because the center really is in the center. So 838 could be a pretty decent resting place out there. So, Ruby, I hope that helps you out with regard to platinum. Now, I'm sure that everybody wants to go take a look at, hey, Steve-O, what's going on inside the markets out here? So let's go take a look at those. Let's go take a look at the daily time frame profiles for the equity futures contracts. When we take a look at the ES Mini, she's trading at 27.19. The high so far today has been 27.27. Very likely what this is doing is headed up to the top of its box. That's a level of 27.48 and 3 ticks out there. That is where she likely is headed to. And at the same time that the ES Mini, and it doesn't have to do it today, may do it today, not saying it's going to do it today, saying that it's likely going to do that, that becomes its target. While that is occurring, what we are also likely to see is the NQ make a run for the top of its profile at 69.34. 50. When you and I took a look at this yesterday, one of the things that we noticed about these profiles, these being the ES, the NQ, and the Dow, is each of them were bullish in structure. And each of them then said to us at the bottoms, the lows out there, the bottoms of those boxes were very strong support. And as long as strong support held, price ought to explore the top of the box. Well, the Dow was the first one up. And by the end of the trading session yesterday, closed just above the top of that profile. Remember the number you wrote down on your pad of paper? Yes, 24,749. It's trading at 25,213. Now, in the case of the Dow equity futures contract, I do not have any resistance, daily or weekly out there. Well, I take that back, because we probably could find some. And if we wanted to find some, we just simply go take a look at some trend line action out here. So here is where we believe the Dow equity futures contract is headed to. The reason is because we do not have a market profile. And that level is going to be somewhere around 25,912, give or take a few pennies out there. Of course, we do our retracements from high to low of the last set of swing points. That gets you to about your 0.786 retracement level. That's 25,838. It needs to make a little pause as it moves up to 25,500, though. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
The TAS Profile Scanner is the most revolutionary piece of trading software that you will ever try. Wouldn't you like to approach the markets with confidence? As you begin your trading day, it's likely that you'll be faced with lots of decisions. In order to make the best decision, the first thing you'll need is a strategy that will help you minimize your risks. Whether we're in a bull or bear market, a good strategy is to have the tools needed to help you scan and analyze the markets before you trade. The TAS Profile Scanner instantly scans and filters over 2,500 global financial markets, such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Headed by Steve Dahl, president of TAS Market Profile, the TAS Profile Scanner understands that in today's technological world, the use of top-flight software applications, automated trading algorithms, and technical analysis expertise is essential to successful trading in today's market. Whether you're looking at the trade matrix, the ETF heat grid, the market breadth, the landscape charts, or the many other features of the TAS Profile Scanner, this is a piece of software that will revolutionize how you look at the markets and set up your trades. The team at TAS has even put together a 12-part video series to walk you through every aspect of the TAS Profile Scanner, which you can find directly on the TAS order page at TFNN.com. Sign up now for only $97 a month with a risk-free 30-day trial, so you have nothing to lose and everything to gain. See for yourself how you can harness the full power of the TAS Profile Scanner by visiting the front page of TFNN.com today, and you'll find the TAS Profile Scanner under the Services section. Remember, with a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to lose. Don't let another day pass you by without trying out this amazing piece of software that will revolutionize how you look at the market and how you place trades. Sign up today.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com.
TFNN has launched our brand new website. You can still visit us at the same TFNN.com URL, but when you do, you'll see a new and improved homepage with a much simpler navigation, whether you're watching TigerTV live in high definition or just accessing your newsletter subscriptions. We even have new pricing in 6 months and yearly options. Check out the new TFNN.com now and experience all the upgrades. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Welcome back. Just to go ahead and wrap that up, when I say that up, we were talking about last, we were taking a look at the equity futures contract, but I had not mentioned the Russell 2000, and I don't want to get some, some bad mail out there. What it's done that is positive today, really two things, so be watching for this. First, price has made it up to the bottom of its daily profile. It has surpassed the weekly profile. It has not been able to do that for a good week out here. That was at 15-12-18. The bottom of the daily profile, the number to be watching out there is going to be 1525. And the high so far today has been, what's it been, 1525. So, again, closing above that would then suggest, okay, so we can give you price targets, 1539, 1548, more likely 1564 out there would be where it is headed to. Of course, if we take a look at the Russell 2000, geez Louise, what I'm having a brain contusion. I'm sorry. Give me a second here. Give me a second is what I asked for. If we take a look at the Russell 2000, take a look at any type of trend lines out here. Here's the ones that, in essence, that I would use. So its trend line could take you up to 1579 out here. Not out of the question with regard to the Russell 2000. Now, in order for all that to take place out here, probably the one thing that you want to take a look at, let's say you're short, let's say you remain short the indices out here. Of course, I don't know your time frame and your perspective, but just so you have a reference tool that you can use that says, okay, prepare for these upside price targets to be hit. What you want to do is you want to go ahead and take a look at that spot volatility index. And that happens to be in the bottom panel of our screen out here. Now, the spot volatility index, with the exception of basically one day, since October 4th, has been above the 50-day exponential moving average. Of course, here we've seen the most price carnage from that area. Right now, the level to be watching is going to be 1852. If price closes below that, what you should see take place is a cascade of short covering that should really boost price and sustain the move higher. Now, the reason that you would think that the sustained move higher is going to take place, and what you would put that together with. For those of you that watch the show, you know that a couple of days ago or whenever we took a look at John, Mr. Z in the Tiger's Den was kind enough to call and ask about some of the high-yield bond ETF, whether they were corporate bonds and so forth. Here is the junk. JNK. You can see that this is screaming higher. You know, I know, Dave Mason knows that these things have a high degree of correlation. And it's just a liquidity gauge. And so this is confirming, in essence, the move that we are seeing inside the equity futures contract. Of course, inside of the junk, this looks like it should at least head to its descending trend line before it gives you its next piece of information. It's trading at 34.74. It's in the 35-ish range out there. So it looks like it has more to run. We can put HYG, one of the other ETFs out here. You'll see the same kind of message. The difference here is you will see that it has already broken a short-term trend line. We didn't have that drawn in on junk. And so this would say to you and I that this should head higher. Now, shoulda, coulda, woulda, you know how that game is played out there. That's why what you want to do, or I'm suggesting that you do, is just pay attention to that spot volatility index. Does it finally give up? If it does give up today, which means it closes below the 50-day line, 1852, and this is going to change by a penny or two as price moves up or down, then what you could see going into the close is a heck of a short covering rally. And if it doesn't, well, then anything is still game. As long as that spot stays above there, anything is still game out here. But as we take a look at the gauges, levels of resistance and so forth, there's no reason that I can see to believe that price is going to do anything else other than move higher. Now, one of the other things that you and I can take a look at out here is we can go take a look at Apple. You noticed, and you're very good at spotting this, you noticed when we took a look at Apple out here that on the trading day of November 23rd, and we were mostly digesting our pie out there, watching a little bit of football, maybe playing a little bit of golf. We noticed that as the market came to a close at 1 o'clock, that Apple had created that Tom DeMark setup 9 count. And what we know, what you know, what I know, is that oftentimes when you see that day of, day before, or day after, you see a change in trend. It certainly happened at the prior high out here back on October the 4th. And then you get a hammer candle the very next day. That's nice. Tells you the market's trying to hammer out a bottom. There's A to B equals CD patterns. We can draw so many of them in here. It doesn't matter. That's what you call buying the D point. Whoops. Here's your 1 to pi. 2.618, A to B equals CD to the downside. So we know there are plenty of patterns out there. And now what's taking place today, and this is why I bring it up, because you were so good at spotting this, what I want to make sure that you also do is the next spotting is Stevie's red line. So 179.75 happens to be the high or just about the high for Apple today. So what you're going to want to look at is can price close above Stevie's red line? Now, if it does, that tells you an important message. That says, okay, we have a change in trend in place. That change in trend will take you to the next resistance level. Inside of Apple, the next resistance level should be the bottom of its daily profile, 185.09. What happens if price in Apple doesn't close above 179.75 today? Not much. You've got bullish candle configurations all over the place after the bottom. You've got, when I say all over the place, let's put this in perspective. You've got 2 of them. You had the hammer candle, and today you have the gap to the upside. Gaps are your friends. Stop thinking gaps will get filled as if there's a gap. You should take some type of action and go ahead and short the stock right then and there. Then don't do it, because you wouldn't say, hey, that's a wide-ranging bar, and that's going to get filled, would you? Well, maybe you would. So you've got another bullish candle today. Watch the 179.75 level inside of Apple, whether it's today or whether it is tomorrow. What else should you observe? Well, the interesting thing, and I didn't catch this until today, and I don't know how I caught it. Well, I know how I caught it. I started opening up some of my windows. When I say some of my windows, because it is cold down here. It is freezing cold. I don't know what it got down to, but it had to be in the 60s or something. But what I noticed when I took a look at the window referring to the NQ weekly chart, I was like, well, son of a gun. How come I didn't see that? Didn't see what? You and I just looked at the Tom DeMark setup 9 count inside of Apple. That was on a daily time frame chart. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, Last week appears to have been a Tom DeMark setup 9 count on a weekly basis out here. Now, of course, you know what that, when Stevie says that, you know the very next thing out of my larynx is what? Something to think about. So, as long as we were thinking about it, Steve-O said, I've got to investigate this. Does that matter? Does it matter that there was a Tom DeMark setup 9 count? Well, first of all, what Price did was it came back to a prior Tom DeMark setup 9 count, that little red dashed line where it found support. Now the rest, which is very interesting, Artie Johnson would say, oh, very interesting. Actually, he would say it much better than I did. I sounded like a Japanese or an Asian saying that. Didn't sound very good. When you come back from this break, we're going to go look at the most prior 9 count to the bottom. We'll be right back. I'm certain you are or strive to be one of the best at everything you do in life. It's the most common trait that we tigers and tigresses share. If you're looking to become the best of the best when it comes to managing your money, let me teach you to do what most wealth managers tell you can't be done, which is how to time the markets. I'm Steve Rhodes, author of Mastering Probability, and for the last 12 months, Timer Digest has been tracking my newsletter signals, which have earned me the ranking as their #1 market timer in the nation for the S&P 500 for the last 12, 6, and 3 months. Timer Digest also ranks me as the #1 market timer for gold as well. The fact is, markets can be timed, and I'll teach you the exact set of tools that I use that has transformed me into one of the best at what I do. Sign up for Mastering Probability today by clicking on the newsletter tab on the homepage of TFNN.com and get immediate access to workshops where I take you step by step how to use an extraordinary set of tools as well as provide great market calls too. Sign up today.
The Path of Least Resistance, David White's daily market letter, gives you trade recommendations based on David's proprietary Power Law Vector indicator that put the odds of success overwhelmingly in your favor. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price for each stock and option trade. David combines his years of trading experience along with his background in technology and computing to offer his subscribers his take on the markets on a daily basis. Every trading day by 9:30, David publishes his morning issue of The Path of Least Resistance, along with updates sent out throughout the week whenever there is new actionable trading information. All new subscribers receive a 30-day, no questions asked money-back guarantee. To sign up for David White's daily trading newsletter right now, visit the front page of TFNN.com and you'll find The Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. I just noticed, let me see if this thing will open up for me, how small the print is on here. And so for you home gamers, it's probably a little bit more difficult to read. There we go. It just helped just a tad. When I say, and what we're looking at, by the way, happens to be the weekly chart for the NQ. Now, we were taking a look at Apple's daily time to market setup 9 count. By the way, from a weekly perspective, when it generated a time to market setup 9 count the week of August 31st, 2018. Remember, the high typically, in this case here, would take place either the week, in this case here, it's a weekly, the week of, the week after, the week before. It was the week after. And you can see how that level, which was a big old bearish engulfing candle, actually acted as resistance. There was a price move, a little bit of spike high of that level, but on a weekly basis, it ended up closing lower. So I'm going to say, hey, this was a good tool for identifying that top out there inside the NQ. Easy to say now. Well, what we're saying now is we've got that time to market set up 9 count to the bottom. It's only Wednesday. I don't know. Anything could happen between now and Wednesday. I mean, between now and Friday, but more likely than not, what we're going to see is higher price, not the entire week's gains get taken back. But that's neither here nor there. If we keep sliding to the left out here, what you're going to notice, and just looking at the counts to the downside, because you can see the ones at the upside. Well, back on the trading week of February 12th, 2016, that was a time to mark set up 9 count and created a change in trend out here. We go back further. Again, we're just looking for those that appear at the bottom. Here you take you back, takes us back to the week of June 8th, 2012 out there. That was a bottom. And then that's all for since the March 2009 level at the lows. There was one that formed on October 31st, 2008 out there. I'm not going to stretch things and say that it worked. Of course, it did work up at the highs on May 23rd, the week of May 23rd, 2008 out there. At least I'm going to go ahead and give that one. So they are worth noting and paying attention to. So that's got to make you say, something to think about. Okay, we've got some requests out here. Let's go take a look at those. Ruby was first up inside the Tiger's Den, and she wanted to go take a look at the wheat contract, the March 2019 wheat contract, Kansas City wheat contract. And here's what I can share with you right now, Ruby. We can see that today's candle session is bar session is orange. And like you and I looked at yesterday with regard to light sweet crude, which had an orange bar, what this tells you and I is this is about to, or it's trying to form a new market profile. As an example, I mentioned, I'll come back to this, but if we take a look at what light sweet crude has done here, where the heck did I put that? Where is that? Right here. So we're taking a look at the January contract. What we now know is we have a brand new box. Brand new box is 5091 is support out here. Now, here's the deal with regard to light sweet crude, then I'll go back to the wheat contract for you, is if light sweet crude is able to close above 52.65, that's the top of that 240, that 4-hour profile, then you should see price move up to 55.74 in light sweet crude, maybe even 58.16. That still just may be a counter trend rally. But now at least you have a good line of demarcation with regard to support and resistance. The box itself is bearish in structure because that center line is closer to the top. Now, take us back into the wheat contract out here. And as we take a look at it, what is it that I can provide you with as far as key information? Really not much on the weekly. Really not much on the daily other than, hey, let's take a look at it tomorrow. And this here suggests that price ought to make its way up to 497 out here, which is the top of the 4-hour time frame. So, you know, it's made a 100% move on an hourly basis. So whether it takes that level out, that's level from 2 o'clock in the morning. That was on November 27th, so that was yesterday. If we can take that level out, it's where it's at right now. This is where a little tug of war is at. Well, you can see it as well out here on the 4-hour time frame chart. Then it should make its way up to the top of that profile. So, Ruby, I hope that that helps you out with regard to this wheat contract. Let's go take a look at what Earl was asking for. Earl writes in, says, hey, Steve. Actually, he wrote, Hev. Steve, yeah, be careful out there. I went long QQQ 160. My target is 175. Is that a reasonable price target? So let's try to answer that. Of course, you sort of know my answer. It's so much easier to make the price target the equity futures contract. Good Lord. type QQQ out here. But you've got 165. If we just simply didn't have all these other tools out here, and we were just relying upon the just kind of like some normal tools, TAS market profiles, and trend lines. I'm going to come take a look at this trend line with you. Then we'll go take a look at profiles, okay? And the trend line would suggest about 173, give or take. Depends on when price might hit it. But in the 170 to 173 type area. So you say your target is 175. I think 175-ish is pretty good. Watch the trend line. Just draw a trend line from the top of October 17th. Use that. And November 7th. Of course, you know, I don't need to tell you that. You probably already have that in your wheelhouse. As far as 175 is concerned, what else do we have up there that's close? Well, interestingly enough, at 173.73 is the top of its daily box out here. So that seems in order. So you'll kind of want to watch that area. Price could take it out. Look, we just looked at the weekly time frame chart out here, and it's very possible that and so watch to see if price takes that level out. I think it is a good target, 173, 174, 175, somewhere in that vicinity out there with regard to the QQQ series ETF. Watch Apple. Right? Watch Apple. If Apple takes out that level, what did we say it was like 179 and change out there? It's trading at it right now. You know, that's a beautiful thing. Watch what happens when Apple gets to 185.09, the bottom of its daily profile. If you can get back inside there, then it's like back inside the range, so to speak. That's a term that I borrow from Tom. Of course, I have to pay him $1 royalty every time I say that, but hey, it's neither here nor there. It's a cool line. And what this would then say is Apple could easily make its way to 192.50 out there. And so, Earl, that is what I see when I take a look at the Qs. Watch, though, as well, just to make sure that you and I are clear on this. You're going to have to watch, see what happens at 69.34. What you want to see is you want to see the NQ take that level out. Now, there's a good chance that it will, by the way. The really good chance, and the reason is it will, is because you already got that reading from the Dow equity futures contract, which closes above the top of its profile out there. Now, when you close above resistance, and that's real resistance inside these equities, they would then also signal to you that there is a change in trend that is taking place. Now, in the case of the spot volatility index, by the way, it has a long way to go to the downside if and when it closes underneath that 50-day level out there. And again, that price point, let's see where we're at. Still close, but no cigar. Not a lot of movement there. There's a lot of non-believers in this market still. Spot volatility, 1877. 50-day, 1852. We get back from this break. Let's go to John P., who wants to take a look at Intuitive Surgical, ISRG. We'll be right back.
Are you in the market for buying or selling real estate in the Bay Area, including the surrounding St. Petersburg, Tampa, and Clearwater markets? Tiger Real Estate LLC is a firm that has extensive experience in the Tampa Bay area. Whether you're looking to sell your current property for maximum value, or you're in the market for a second home or investment property, Tiger Realty has the experience across all areas of real estate in the Tampa Bay area to help buyers and sellers make the most informed decisions across all price levels. From the price you should be paying per square foot in certain up-and-coming areas to the type of cash flow investment properties are capable of creating, Tiger Real Estate can help you make the best decision when it comes to all areas of the market. Before you make one of the biggest decisions of your financial future, call Tiger Real Estate LLC today at 727-329-8322 or email us at tiger@tfnn.com. That's 727-329-8322. Call us today. No matter what kind of trader you are, 2018 is a great time to try out a subscription to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report. Whether you just plan on diversifying your portfolio with some exposure to gold and gold mining equities, or you're a gold bull that sees 2018 as the year of commodities, now is a great time to sign up for the Gold Report. Tom O'Brien publishes his Gold Report every Monday morning before the market opens and covers a variety of topics including gold, silver, platinum, copper, the XAU and HUI, the dollar, bonds, South African rand, as well as more than 20 of the most actively traded mining equities. Start your 2018 off with a bang and sign up for the Gold Report today. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. For all the details and to start your subscription right now, visit the front page of TFNN.com and you'll find the Gold Report under Investment Newsletters. Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Directions Daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Welcome back, folks. Dow's up 533, S&P 50. So John P. Says, can you chart analysis on Intuitive Surgical? That is ticker symbol ISRG. I'm holding some December call options. Wondering if on the daily chart, if it's headed higher, or is it just a counter trend bounce? Well, in either event, it would head higher. My goal is to sell the options when the stock gets to 520. So let's go take a look at 520 out here, a couple of different ways. Curious if there's resistance level there that you should be aware of. Listening live today, that's great, and look forward to the analysis. Well, we're glad that you're listening live. And so if we take a look at Intuitive Surgical, one of the things that you can do on your chart, just like we've got on Stevie's chart, you can see when it made the low here on November 20th, lots of different trend line resistance that was coming together there at that area. That happened to be, let's get some volume out here just for the heck of it. Let's turn the volume on. That was testing a prior swing point, which was the trading session of October 29th. There was 904,000 shares was being tested with about 1 million shares. So his test was similar type volume. That's neither here nor there. What it is doing right now, first let's answer your question about 520. Just by simply running a trend line, John, from the trading high of October 1st and then picking up the high of November 7th, that trend line today would give you a price target of about 527. And tomorrow would be just slightly lower. Maybe it's 525. So the question is 520 doable? The answer is yes. Volume today is 401,000 shares going into 797. So not too bad, but let's face it. It's the time of the year where volume's pretty much going to be light. So let's not use volume, for goodness sakes, as our only criteria for trying to understand what the markets are doing. Let's use some other criteria if we can. So let's go take a look at the TAS market profiles. Let's go take a look at daily. Daily has 545 written in it. Interestingly enough, when price was pushing lower, it had already formed a bullish structured daily box. It was tested. Remember, we talked about it, the swing point was tested. It was tested with more volume, but nonetheless, this was a bullish structured profile. So you've got a trend line in that 520-ish, 525 level. You have the top of a box, bullish structured box out here. It says 545 is a price objective for you. So it does look to me, well, it prices above the monthly top of its box at 506, bullish, positive. The bottom of its weekly box held, that was at 489.88. That's got 546 to 558 as possible outcomes with regard to where resistance is at. So your trade does look pretty good out here, and that is on Intuitive Surgical. John, thanks for writing in. I hope that helps you out. With regard to other questions, well, we do have one from another listener. Let me make sure I get this in order here. It says, good day, Stevie son. Well, good day to you. This is from Sylvia. What do you think about the Santa Claus rally? It's off to a start. I think, Sylvia, it's certainly off to a start. I guess I need to put it to you like this. Okay, things look very rosy and bullish today, sort of, right? Still got that spot volatility, it's a little thorn in our heinies, so to speak, out there. We want to be able to pull that thorn out. That would be a beautiful thing. That would be a positive for the rally. But the reality is, where is it? I'm going to get there. That's not it. Darn it. There we go. Yeah, that's sort of it. Guess what I really wanted is that the Dow, in terms of U.S. dollars, Sylvia, is trading in a consolidation, and they're hard to trade because they're good for the bulls on some days and good for the bears on the other days. And with regard to consolidations, the best short and the best long is at the bottom or the top of that consolidation. Now, right now, price inside the Dow is trading at 25,303. It's right dead smack center, or pretty close, because the top of that range, there we go, another dollar to Tom, the top of that trading range, 26,616, the bottom, 23,360. That's the consolidation that it is in. Could price make a run to the 26,616 by the end of December? Possible. We're in a consolidation. What would be reasons why it could? Well, the Dow, with regard to the consolidation pattern priced in euros, that's the panel right next to it, panel number 2. You'll see 21,461 was the top of its consolidation. The last 2 months have been nothing more than a pullback to a prior consolidation that it broke out of. It was a test of support, old resistance that became support. The same is true for those traders inside of London, inside of the United Kingdom. Again, a test of 18,940 out there. So they've got the consolidation breaks. They have exactly what you want. Those traders, as things get a little bit hectic over there, they could be buying the Dow, which would then go ahead and push things up. If you're asking me, where do I think that the rally could run out of steam? One of the places that I would be looking would be gosh, it's not there. I thought I just had it. It's not that. It's not going to be that. Oh, it was the S&P. No, it wasn't the S&P. Good Lord, where did I put it? Well, I'll be a monkey's uncle. I apologize for this moment of, confusion. When I was looking, here we go. Bam, right in front of you. Here's what I'm looking at, Sylvia. This is the consolidation too. This is a weekly time frame. And so the answer, how is it looking? It's looking pretty good so far. I think what you've got to do is the Dow's price target is probably in the 26,240 level. Its prior swing point from a weekly standpoint. We're trading into that level right now. If it can close above that, then we see price get up to 26,984. So you've got nice change in trend signals inside the NQ on a weekly basis. And I think inside a consolidation pattern, the wide one that we have, the best thing that I can say, it's got to be one step at a time, just simply one step at a time out here. But the step that it's taking so far today is a pretty good step. So thanks for writing in, and much appreciated. That takes care of, believe it or not, all the questions out here. So that's a beautiful thing. With this last minute, since I happen to be on the gold chart, I guess it makes sense we should go take a look at gold. So this is kind of interesting out here, the gold action today. Because if we take a look at gold priced in dollars, it ran into resistance at the top of its market profile. That level is going to be 12.25. I'm sorry, was the center of its box. 12.25. You know, it's okay. We've seen a decent move out here in dollars. But why is gold trading lower in euros? And why is it trading lower in pounds? Well, we know the reason, because it's a currency conversion issue. But I'm just saying, they're not on board in buying gold today. This is a stubborn little mule. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns, as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com. No matter what kind of trader you are, 2018 is a great time to try out a subscription to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report. Whether you just plan on diversifying your portfolio with some exposure to gold and gold mining equities, or you're a gold bull that sees 2018 as the year of commodities, now is a great time to sign up for the Gold Report. Tom O'Brien publishes his Gold Report every Monday morning before the market opens and covers a variety of topics including gold, silver, platinum, copper, the XAU and HUI, the dollar, bonds, South African rand, as well as more than 20 of the most actively traded mining equities. Start your 2018 off with a bang and sign up for the Gold Report today. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. For all the details and to start your subscription right now, visit the front page of TFNN.com and you'll find the Gold Report under Investment Newsletters.
You know what's cool? Taking something that's good for you. Something specifically formulated to help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Nico, our hunter and gatherer ancestors found all their nutritional requirements for health in their wild environment. But today, our food sources no longer contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients our bodies need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty, and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated fulvic and humic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They have been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, life cannot exist without them.
That's right, Paige. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge, formulated and approved by Nico and Paige of Living a Primal Lifestyle. Buy it today for just $89. Click on the Primal Edge banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
This is David White. Stay tuned because coming up next is the Power Trading Hour right here on TFNN.
Welcome back, folks. So 2-minute wrap up here before our man David White, our favorite polar bear, the best polar bear in the world, is out. Dow's up 538. So you've got the Dow up a little over 2%. NDX up 2.5%, Russell up 2%, Tranny's up 2%. So all looks pretty good with one exception, the one exception being that spot volatility index. Only down 11 pennies, 1891. That's not good enough. You need to see it below 1852. Surprises can come to the downside when that spot volatility index is up above zero. I'm sorry, up above the 50-day exponential moving average. Things look pretty good with regard to some of the liquidity instruments we looked at, the high-yield income funds, bond funds out there. So that looks pretty good. Gold is up $9. What's the conclusion in gold? The reason why it's not moving so high, it moved higher earlier, is because you've got some what look like natural sellers, gold in euros and gold in pound sterling out there. Doesn't mean it's going to move lower. It's kind of been moving sideways out here. You know, you've got about, what is it, inside the GDX, about 24 million shares out here. Let's see what that is equating to. 24 million shares is moving into 51 million shares from November 21st. You can see the range, the cone of silence that the GDX has been trading in. Probably going to head up to the top of that little descending trend line in the 1984 level out there. What else is it that I can leave with you, share with you? I think that's really about it. Look for the ES Mini to get up to the 2748.75 level. That's the top of its daily profile. If you see it trading above that, that tells you you've got a little change in trend in place, and that price should then target its prior swing point. That's in the 28.15 area. Inside the ES Mini, watch for 69.3450. If price closes above that level, man, you're talking 70.39, and the top of its weekly box is back at its all-time highs. We'll have to watch that, because remember the weekly signal that we saw out there. Tommy DeMark, set up 9 count. It's worked beautifully since the March 2009 bottom. Stay tuned, folks, for David White, your favorite polar bear. Tom O'Brien, 3 to 5. I'll be back with you on Terrific Thursday. Have a great day.
Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns, as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com.